Bit of a tough way to start our work week this week. We had full intentions of coming out and getting some additional work done over in Gabby, the apartment build. However, when we woke up this morning, Melissa brought to my attention the fact that it appears as though our house, the one that we built the majority of, has apparently decided to start falling apart a little bit.
Yeah, this is the part that we did for sure. So I looked out the slider and our overhang did not look right. So the problem that we are having is with our Douglas fir circle sawn tongue and groove that we have on the underside of our exterior overhang. Now this is the same material that we did on the ceiling in our kitchen and great room, but it's wood and this is outside.
Yeah, no issues inside, but on the outside, what we're having to deal with is some buckling that apparently has occurred. I tried to diagnose and figure out exactly what caused this. My theory is that everything just kind of swelled up, whether it be the actual boards themselves, some of the framing, because it is just dimensional lumber. We also have these massive timbers. So regardless of the actual issue, I'm having to climb up there. We're gonna have to do some figuring out, dismantle these actual pieces, which isn't a fun chore to have to be doing, but this has got to be resolved. So we're climbing up here. Gave these boards a little nudge to see how much leeway I had. Turns out I have absolutely none. They are under a tremendous amount of pressure. I know you probably can't tell on camera, but this buckle is actually pretty severe. Started looking around, I noticed that we have a number of new checks in the large timbers that we nailed all of these boards to. That may have caused the pressure, which led to this buckle. Not really sure. Either way, like I said, it's gonna have to be fixed. So, game plan. I think we're gonna pull these 2 rows responsible for the buckle out. Take them over to the table saw, do a little trimming. I might actually take the backside of one of the rows, the groove portion. I might take just the backside of that groove off so that we can bring these boards back here, get them stuck into place, and then hopefully face nail them. Really hoping that does the trick, because the only other thing I can think to do is to work our way back down, actually remove all of these boards, and then replace them. Don't want to have to do that, so fingers crossed this game plan works.
As Jeremy is removing those, we are realizing just how much pressure that's under. Now these boards actually slide underneath the siding, so we put the boards on, then we did the siding over that. I cannot believe that that little siding piece right where it buckled did not crack, because it was a little piece. It is concrete siding, and with all that pressure, the siding held up, which is a miracle. If that had broken, because it is lap siding, we would have had to have removed all the siding from the bottom all the way up to that piece. It would have been a very, very long project and a total nightmare. So we're so grateful for that.
I mean, now that I'm looking at it, the pressure's unreal. Even if I were to push this back in, I guarantee something down below would have broke. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's off by inches.
No, it's seriously unbelievable. And yeah, the fact that that siding didn't crack, crazy.
Well, it's not pretty, and we're gonna need some touch-up stain, but you got it out.
I'll take it. All right, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, this is not going very well, and I'm a little fed up, and what we've encountered is that these final 2 pieces that need to be removed are actually pinched against the house because we have our siding stuck beneath it, if that makes sense. It's pinned under there, and that's where it's nailed. So what I'm actually thinking is, rather than removing all of our siding, because that takes a small project and makes it very, very large, very substantial, a lot of work, I'm going to make some very strategic cuts at an angle back toward the house to get these 2 last boards removed. I'm hoping that'll eventually look good. We'll mask it and disguise it as best we can. It's a little unfortunate, but with the limited amount of time that we have to get this done, I think it's probably the best option. So for comparison's sake, I just cut this first board. What we had initially was this U-shaped notch down at the bottom because it is a tongue and groove product again. By taking off just the backside of this groove, we make it a lap product, meaning that this board will overlap the one that precedes it, and it'll allow for us to just plug things back into place before getting everything nailed up once again. I'm really hoping that this works.
Changes coming.
He's bringing me.
Always in motion.
That's nice.
By
You're not.
the wind.
You just saw I needed to pick me up.
Traveler,
Thanks.
come drink with me. Eat and be merry with old friends.
All right, we have good news and bad news. The good news is that that bottom row went on beautifully. The bad news is that now we can see just how much it all swelled and what did cause it to pop out. So as we're trying to put that last row on, it is overhanging the piece below it by a good half inch.
Half an inch or so, yeah, which is amazing considering the amount of expansion that that would require. It's incredible. So we're gonna have to find a workaround, make this board for this particular roll a little more narrow, which is a little bit of a bummer, but I'm hoping that with as big and as busy as this ceiling is that you won't really be able to tell. How's it look?
Looks good. I can't tell.
And so?
Nope.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I think it's good.
Oh, it blends in. I mean,
If you know that piece is a half an inch.
yeah, staring directly at it, but I think once it's all up, we'll be fine.
Yeah.
All right, Mama. Well, I did what I could. It actually turned out okay with the exception of the very last piece. Not a huge fan of this one. We still have some additional masking and disguising to get done maybe tomorrow. For the time being, the problem has been resolved for the time being. So.
Don't you love how, oh my gosh, what is that? Turned into an entire day.
It's usually how it goes. It's usually how it goes.
Like it never happened.
Well, after making all of those really fun home repairs yesterday, now that we have that done, Melissa and I can start focusing on what it is that we originally had planned, which is getting some drywall hung here in the apartment.
Yeah, it's so impactful to get the walls up because then it actually looks like a finished structure. I cannot believe we are at this point. First time I've been excited to do some drywall. So we have the texture guys coming in a couple weeks. We got to get busy. So a little bit of a challenge this week is Jeremy actually pulled his back the day that we went to go look at that horse Blue last week because I insisted that he get on and ride.
Tell him how I did it? The embarrassing way in which I did it.
He pulled his back while sitting on a horse adjusting his stirrup. So right when he got on, he bent down to get his foot in the stirrup because he was wearing the wrong footwear and cranked his back. So that's what happened, and he's getting better, but it's still sore and it's very weak, and so we have to be careful. So of course, what makes sense? Drywall. So poor Jeremy. We are going to start in the great room. This is probably the most important and impactful room, so it gives us a little morale boost to see the drywall up in the great room. We're going to start on this back wall. So for now, Jeremy is going to get started by marking out all of the studs, and we will get started. Well, it is my horse prospect that hurt you.
It's true. It's a good point. You did this thing. Come on back. Don't let me down. Oh, that's good for me.
Well, Jeremy screws that up,
Whoa.
screws it into place.
Doing my best here, Melissa. Holy cow.
You're doing outstanding.
Thank
Commences the screwing of the drywall. I was going to talk to you guys about tomorrow. So tomorrow we are not doing drywall because we have a very special podcast guest coming here to the property. So this podcast is available now on our podcast channel, which is called New World Old Soul here on YouTube. And we have a link right down below if you want to go check out this episode. We have Rachel Blackmore coming. She is formerly Rachel Jeffs. She is the oldest daughter of the FLDS leader and prophet Warren Jeffs, and this story is all about how she fled the FLDS and her life there and her life now. It's going to be very intense, but I think also very inspiring, and we're really honored to be able to sit down with her, so please go over and check that out. I'm ducking inside real quick to get the kids lunch and also make my daily AG1 drink. You guys know that I have been raving about AG1 for the past 3 years because it gives me that feel-good daily energy boost that I rely on, and it also supports my immune system, which this time of year is so important. AG1 is the perfect all-in-one foundational nutrition supplement with 75 vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, and probiotics in one simple daily serving. And it's a daily ritual that is so simple to stick to. Just add 1 scoop or 1 travel pack, 8 ounces of water, shake it up, and you are good to go. Originally, I started taking AG1 back in 2021 because I was looking for something to support my gut health. AG1 not only supports gut health, but also a healthy digestion, and a healthy digestion means you just feel better. It supports your energy, your focus, your recovery, even aging. So after months of raving about AG1, the number one question I get asked is, what exactly does it taste like? For me, it tastes a little bit like wheatgrass, but also a little bit like pineapple, but not sweet. It's just really clean and refreshing. To check out AG1 for yourself, just click the link down in the description and you will get a year's supply of the vitamin D3 K2 drops plus 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. That is 5 free travel packs and a year's supply of the vitamin D with your first purchase.
I know, we've had many of you point out and ask why it is that I'm using this driver rather than using a drywall screw gun to get all of this put up. And we actually have one. I brought this up a few episodes ago that is broken. I haven't purchased a new one. And it's kind of been in the back of my mind, quite honestly. So we've just been sticking with this. It's getting the job done. Just requires a little more time and attention and a lot of pulsating on the trigger, which can be irritating. I get that, but like I said, it's working, so we're sticking with it.
You know I hate the winter rain. You kiss my cheeks and pretend it's May. I don't know where I'm going, but I'm going there. I know you hate a bad night's sleep, so sleep tomorrow till 9:15. Oh, I guess in our 30s, 9:15 is quite taboo.
It is starting to look crazy in here.
It is, yeah, that's good.
It's looking finished.
So it's exciting when a living space starts coming together with drywall.
Looks so different.
It does, it's amazing.
Just that one wall.
It starts looking like more of a house.
We're done. We can go inside now.
I love it, let's do it, I'm all for it.
Jeremy is measuring for almost the last piece as far as full-size pieces go, but we need you guys to help us settle a debate. So we know on the ceiling that we are going to be doing tongue and groove. So Jeremy was thinking that it would look really nice with a nice pine ceiling. My concern with that is that it will clash with the other wood colors. So my suggestion was doing a shiplap, which is not Jeremy's favorite material, going shiplap, having it sprayed one color, the walls and the ceiling matching, and then trimming it out with a darker wood, something really rustic with like a ridge beam and trim, like a church.
Here's what I'm going to say. After yesterday's ordeal, I think I'm actually more so inclined to go shiplap, just because I don't want to have to be tearing apart an entire ceiling in here. Not that we should have any future issues, but if we encounter those same issues.
Are you over the wood ceiling?
No, I love our wood ceiling. I'm just saying, maybe don't ask me about this 24 hours after I had to wrestle around
That's
those
true.
boards.
True. Or maybe it's actually the perfect time because now you'll want to go with the nice bright. It's a smaller space, so I was thinking bright white. Not bright white, like creamy white. Normally, I'm not a creamy white ceiling kind of person, but I think in this small space it would look nice. So what do you guys think? Should we go wood ceiling or should we go creamy white ceiling? Oh no.
The sky is fading into red, and the bells all toll.
Good news, Melissa. This stuff's sag resistant, just like me. Huh? Huh?
Miles on ahead. And that evening light by the riverside, as the water rises up its song, the most
All right, Mama, there you go.
Last one?
It's all my back and handle for the day.
All right, let's go get some rest because after the podcast, I need you to go get Blue.
Sounds good, Mama. Sounds good. Great start to the day today. We had an amazing conversation over on our podcast channel with Rachel Blackmore. If you guys are interested in checking that out over on New World Old Soul, go ahead and do so. But it is finally time for us to go pick up our new family member, Blue.
Yeah, I'm feeling very, very nervous. I've looked at probably hundreds of horses over the last couple of weeks, and Blue, he just looks really nice and dependable. So we're bringing him here on a trial basis to see if the kids respond to him, if he's a good fit for Lex, and if he's a good fit for our family.
Indeed. Let's go pick him up.
All right, you guys ready?
Yes.
So we are almost to the place where we are picking Blue up, and now all of a sudden I'm feeling really, really nervous. This is the third horse that we are trying for the kids. It is so difficult to find a good match for your kids, and you don't really know until you're a couple months in and they settle down and they show their true colors and all their vices. And so I'm really, really hoping that Blue works out. This is a trial basis. We're trying to be really conservative, really smart, very practical about this. I'm very hopeful, but I'm also very nervous. And I'm nervous to introduce Lexan to him as well. But we don't actually have a horse trailer, so our friend Amy is meeting us here in about 15 minutes to help us get Blue back to our property. And we are also bringing his little pasture pet, Whiskey. He's a little mini horse back with us. We'll tell you a little bit more about Whiskey and what the deal is with him later, but he does have to come today.
Do it, buddy.
There we go. Well, we got the horses loaded up with very little drama, and so now we are almost home, and now we get to do some introductions, get them settled on the property.
Yeah, I know. You're gonna be okay. He's like, I'm just trying to help coax him out of the trailer. I thought maybe if there was a friend here. Come here, you're gonna have to jump. Good boy, or boy, back. And step. Step. Everybody taught you step?
There's horses. Oh, he's like, what? What, buddy? Horses. What do you think? Oh, go see him. Go see him. He's like, oh my gosh. A horse. What's in there? All right, so there was a little bit of hollering, but not much. And we don't want Blue to have to sleep out under cover, so we're just gonna turn him out together. So we got him here and it was pretty uneventful. They yelled at each other for a couple minutes and now they're completely ignoring each other. I think it's gonna take a day or two before they become friends and talk about the weather and do whatever grumpy old men do together. So with Blue, the reason I chose him after looking at all these other horses is because he was a dude ranch horse for quite a few years, which means all kinds of people rode him, all different riding levels, kids, people that had never been on a horse, and they're able to ride him on trails and in open space, which is great. He also did some kids lessons and he did some 4-H clinics and pretty much everything that you would look for in a really safe, sound, reliable kids horse. So Blue is not fancy broke. He's not shiny and sexy and everything that I normally look for in a horse, which doesn't always work out for the best. But Blue is a chubby, older, bald guy at the bar that maybe has a little bit of ketchup and mustard on his tie, but he's got a really reliable Honda in the parking lot and he probably has health insurance. Blue's that guy. He's that guy. He's the guy you want. So I think he's going to be great. We're really excited about him and we have high hopes. So Blue came with a mini horse. Mini horse's name is Whiskey. He's 2 years old. He's pretty much completely feral. He's going to be a massive project because he hasn't really been touched. So he doesn't really like to be touched. And that makes him a little tricky because he is very fast. So my worry with the mini horse is Lexan has a difficult time not paying attention to the scary things in the environment around him when I'm riding him and listening to me. And if I have a feral little mini horse running between his legs and buzzing around and doing zoomies while we're riding, I could see how that could develop into a dangerous situation, which I don't want. He's a cute, sweet little horse, but he's going to be a lot of work. So we're going to play it by ear, but I do have a friend that's very, very interested in taking him for her kids to turn him into like a 4-H project. And they have horses and they have a lot of time, and they're really excited about the prospect of a mini horse. So we may let Whiskey go and spend time over there and see if that's a better fit for him. But we're going to see how this goes. We're excited. Right now, we are at that point in the build with these horses, with our parenting, and I suppose in life in general, where it just feels as though we are in this constant season of change. But I saw a simple quote this morning that really hit me hard. It said, "Be where your feet are." 5 simple words that resonated so deeply with this constant battle that I have with always searching for what is just over the horizon. So I'm going to be trying this new thing where I try not to worry so much about all of the what ifs and the what's next, and instead I try to embrace the half-dones and the unknowns and the beauty of that journey. How many little miracles would we all see if we just decided to be present, right here, right now, right where our feet are?